Hello, welcome to A Week in Watches, episode 44. My name is Blake Bettner. This is a weekly look back at all the news, stories, and people from the industry this week. We are just coming off of Watches and Wonders 2023, so we are going to go over some of the watches and some of the releases that you might have missed this past week. Before we get into that, just a reminder to go check out the Wind Up Watch shop for all of your watches, watch accessories, watch storage needs. We've got all kinds of really cool stuff in there, including lots of new stuff that's coming into the store. So be sure to check out windupwatchshop.com for all of your watch and watch accessory needs. All right, we're jumping into this week with a new watch from Ming, the 29.01. This is a Worldtimer from Ming in a new case. Still features that flared lug, but gets a new crystal design that blends seamlessly into the case. Quite beautiful. Of course, it's a Worldtimer. It gets a 24-hour disc and a lot of the cities listed around the edge of the dial. It's done in typical Ming style, which means it's very unique looking, very beautiful looking. This uses a Schwartz Etienne micro rotor automatic movement with a new bridge design. Quite lovely from the back of the watch, and you would hope it would be. It's nearly $20,000. Pre-orders of that go live this week. We've got more details on the 2901 now live on oneandwild.com. You can check them out there. And next up, we've got just a small brief story about the Mission to Moonshine. Remember that watch that caused all the hubbub a few weeks ago? Well, it's being launched or was launched, I should say, for one day only this week in 14 new cities for April 6th alone. That went about as well as you can imagine. But what this does say is that we can maybe expect more of these releases to happen in cities, branching out a little bit more places around the world. Hopefully one near you if you're interested in getting one. So hopefully the availability of these things will become a little bit better as time goes on, and hopefully we'll see more versions of these, more special versions of these, more astrologically inspired versions of these perhaps. I don't know, all bets are off at what we might see. Hopefully you were able to get one if you wanted one near you. All right, next up, another watch from Chopard that I don't think got quite enough love when it released last week. This is the Alpine Eagle 8HF. This is a high-frequency Alpine Eagle with a fully titanium case and bracelet. This is their 8 Hertz movement, which beats about twice as fast as the normal caliber would. This is a caliber 01.12C. This is also quite beautiful. It is under 10 millimeters in thickness and 41 millimeters in diameter. It's very light, being full titanium. It's a black dial with red accents. It's very sporty looking in nature. Got a lot of love for the Alpine Eagle over here, and I think it's kind of one of those low-key sport watches that doesn't get enough credit. They also released a salmon dial version with an LUC movement that was quite beautiful as well. We'll have more details on those, including some live pictures on oneandwild.com right now. Speaking of salmon dials, we saw a new watch from MB&F, the beautiful, stunning, incredible LM Perpetual calendar from MB&F. This watch was released in a steel case this week with a salmon dial. It's as stunning as it ever has been. I'd like to see them doing more things with this. We got an inside look at their new M.A.D house in Geneva, and we'll have more of a walkthrough on that at oneandwild.com right now. But in terms of steel LM watches, this one is top of the heap. If you enjoy this watch and you don't get into the Evo sportiness versions, you like it in more of its kind of formal guise, I think you'll really enjoy this version of it. And finally, moving on to some news from Frederique Constant here, who released a few new watches this week, including some at Watches and Wonders. There's a new Highlife Worldtimer, which gets kind of a brown, earthy tone, dial color, whatever it is. It's quite beautiful. Not quite salmon, not quite brown, but somewhere in between there. We're big fans of the Highlife line around here. Would love to see it get maybe that monolithic escapement, assortment, whatever you want to call it, that they do. Speaking of that monolithic element from Frederique Constant, there is a new collaboration with Revolution Mag this week, the Slimline Monolithic, that gets a salmon dial with dual textures on it. It gets breguet hands and numerals. It's quite beautiful. And then it's got an open component at 6 o'clock, revealing that monolithic component that is replacing about 25 parts, including the balance wheel, the balance spring, the escape wheel, which is kind of built into the single piece of silicon that beats at 40 hertz. That's 80 beats per second. Pretty incredible thing here. I held it to my ear and I could not hear an audible buzz, but surely it's there. I really enjoy this thing and I would like to see it move into other Frederique Constant watches, maybe all of them. I think it's a pretty big draw here, and it's a really cool bit of technology, especially for the price point that they're offering it at. That Worldtimer, by the way, just under $5,000. Pretty sharp watch. And that is it for A Week in Watches, episode 44. Those are all the watches that you might have missed this week. What do you think? Let us know down in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please be sure to leave a like and share. While you're here, it's a great time to subscribe. And once again, a reminder to check out the Wind Up Watch shop for all your watch and watch accessory needs. My name is Blake Bettner. Don't forget to tune in next week. And until next time, take care.